Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck this place!
It's in our house. It's in our back patio. It's open air. He wears a mask. We won't get tested.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm in NorCal right now, and I have my lady that's been yelling at me while cutting my hair since I was 14.
Oh, nice.
So it's like that works. But whenever I'm in LA, I'm like, I should hit a Sosa because
everybody's got their own lady who's been yelling at them since 14.
Their own version of a. Mine was my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mine was a lady named Debbie, but she never yelled at me. She was just a real nice Southern lady.
She was just weirdly kissing you on the mouth after.
No, I was just kissing her, like on the right on the top of my head.
Bye, Chase.
Just like when you love the smell of a baby, like that kind of kiss, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Real soft.
And you're like well in your 30s.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just kidding. You're probably like 25.
No, I'm 100% in my 30s. Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm a baby face man. That's for
You
goddamn
are a
sure.
baby face man.
That's why I used to have a beard. I mean, I do sometimes still have a beard, but had to grow it in the 20s. Otherwise, too often mistaken for what's the word? Like a loitering teen.
Yeah.
What's this guy doing? Get him out of this bar.
There's like campus security continually dragging Chase back onto middle school campuses.
Yeah, I'm just like looking for that blue light. Does every campus have those blue lights?
Yeah.
I feel like.
All right, McNeil. Pulling him back.
I guess I should intro the podcast. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name's Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today is a guest, another one of the pound for pound best comics in LA, in my personal opinion. She's got her own podcast called the What's Your Beef Pod. You've seen her on Roast Battle on Comedy Central, but she's with us today, the awesome Miss Leah Kayjanian. What's up, Leah?
Hey, guys. What's going on? Excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Very glad.
Thanks for having
coming
me.
out to your room in your house.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I came out to my room.
But it's still a heavy lift, you know. Just to
Yeah.
open that laptop.
Just
and
to do anything.
One more
Yeah.
fucking Zoom. Yeah. So I mean, you know,
Getting
I'm
very-
glad I'm here to be, you know, clear, but
Yeah.
it's
but
still.
these are two more rooms I get to look at behind me.
Yeah, it's a real
Weird.
bonus. Like my brown
Yeah,
pad.
you gotta pin stuff up there.
Do I? Yeah.
But then he
Is it
wouldn't be
art?
able to.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is that art?
No.
No. I was gonna say,
ever
but then
tell.
he couldn't like punch it in frustration every
Just
night
like,
if there was stuff up on it.
My
Oh,
chair does hit it a lot. That's one of the reasons it's so. little.
That's why it's there. You're like,
Yeah, it kept hitting the wall, and I was like, I need something else to hit.
got
Both my chair and for my feelings.
it. Try pillows? Have you tried one of those referee punching bags that bounces back up?
No, but okay, very short story, and then we will get to our first segment. When I was in high school, I used to when I would get like really frustrated, I would just go into the backyard with a baseball bat and I would just like hit the ground as hard as I could, like as many times as I could until I was
Fuck
exhausted.
yeah.
And I
Yeah,
didn't
dude.
realize at the time, like, number one, you got anxiety, pal. And number two, maybe you should exercise regularly. You know, like I had no outlet physically that I had.
I was
at
gonna
the
say
time.
that sounded like a healthy way to release your
I think it was
frustration.
healthy. I think that the build up, the fact that it was a have to thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I need to go grab that baseball bat and hit the ground real hard.
Was
like,
your family like, what's happening to the yard back
Yeah.
here?
I feel like
No,
they're
it was
like
a big, it was a big enough yard, and also it wasn't like there were moles and stuff, you know. So it wasn't like that was
it
like,
was like
Playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it
It wasn't a prize yard, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying my father took a lot of pride in it. He's had a lot of fights with the moss that I'm sure he would declare as one. But that was the front yard. Front yard matters a little more than the backyard.
I was gonna say it's like weird that like your parents were like, "Is our son a character in an Alice in Chains video?"
Is he putting barbed wire on the bat this time? It seems like
What
these
is
are serious.
Angry youth in the Pearl Jam video that we gave birth to.
Why is he tying that flannel around his waist? 2005. Yeah. So anyway, you know, you live, you learn. Leah, our first segment that we do on every podcast is actually a segment we call "Fuck This Place?" ? Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. So we actually have looked up some Craigslist posts. They're Oklahoma, mainly Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Your first job, I think, was in Blackwell, Oklahoma.
Blackwell, yep.
So yeah, we found some Craigslist posts in the Oklahoma region. believe it or not, the Stillwater, Oklahoma was not super full of listings. So what I'm going to do is we're going to look at 2 posts. I've got 3 titles. You're going to pick the one you don't want to look at, and then we'll look at the other 2, just like you're browsing Craigslist.
Got it.
So one is a no. Let me just read the titles, just like you're browsing, so you can't read the post. First title is Need Someone to Reach Out to Clubs.
Okay.
Number 2, Animal Lover Needed. Number 3, Get Paid to Swipe on Tinder. So which one do you not want to click on? Does someone to reach out to clubs, the animal lover, or this Tinder situation?
I don't want to click on the reach out to clubs.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Let's do animal lover needed first. I'm going to share my screen. And the post does not have a ton of text. It does just say, number 1, job listing number 1 says animal lover needed. And then there's very short text, no pictures. And it says, need animal lover to help clean parrot room on a Friday or Saturday, twice monthly, $15 an hour, must have your own transportation. And that's the post that does reinforce 15 an hour in the conversation box, which is nice because they are clear that it is going to be $15 an hour. And that's that.
God.
How many parrots do you think you got to have for it to be legally the parrot room?
Right?
Like,
or is it one parrot in a whole room to himself that just runs amok in there?
Right.
Like no cage, all room.
Yeah.
No cage, all room. It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Oof, that's tough.
There's not a...
I like that there's an hourly rate. Like how many hours are we talking?
It's a very good question. Very good question.
There's no way to slice the parrot to room ratio here that doesn't terrify me.
Sure. Yeah, because if it's one, then it's like you gave a parrot a bedroom, or you're a animal store. I think this is like a private homeowner or private.
I think so too. Yeah.
I don't think this is like a pet store.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it could be a whole bedroom that you gave to one parrot, or like an entire basement that you have like sort of relinquished to like 50 parrots.
To all the parrots.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's like, even if it's just the one, it's a room. He could be behind you at any,
Yes, you're correct. We don't know the parrot leaves the room. I would guess the parrot doesn't.
On the pole that you hang your coat on in the closet, the pole that goes across, he's perched on that.
Yeah, just
and he's just like shuffling sideways so you don't.
Just whispering.
I was going to say a triple problem here that we haven't even talked about is that parrots can imitate you.
Yeah. And they
like
can imitate your dad, and you know.
I like that they say animal lover needed because they do have a sense of how to bring people in. Like they definitely have that ad sense.
I mean, I agree. And also just sort of the floor requirement. Like you better fucking love animals to go clean parrot shit up twice a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably couldn't put shit lover needed.
Yeah.
And man, bird shit is so fucking gross.
Yeah.
It's hard to clean.
It's very
you gotta
difficult
get with like
to
a hard spray wash on your car,
Yeah.
Yes.
I am adamantly worried about the relationship that this person has with their parrot. Like, do you think they talk about you after you're gone? Like he comes in, he's like, how was he?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna find out because the parrot will say shit about you when you come next time.
And why won't they do it? It's such a horrible mess that they're like.
That's why. Yeah, I think.
You know what? This is worth $15 for me not to have to do ever again.
I do think that there's more parrots. Or it could be they're physically incapable of it, but I would again think that person, if they're in that case, they would probably have more needs than just parrot, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they would probably just sort of loop somebody into that. I think this is an extreme job. Like, I think this is closer to 50 parrots than it is to one.
Whoa, that's scary.
Dang, dude, that is really scary.
Like
they need to get. This is a job for a kid. This is like a neighbor kid. Creepy job to get.
It's a
they
neighbor
would,
kid
but
job,
they're all dead now.
Yeah.
They all died mysteriously after the first time with this. Yeah.
It does have one of those creepy maps, those Craigslist maps that have no address where it's like an area.
It is a big old circle around 2 highways somewhere outside of Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey, that's my town.
Oh, really?
Norman?
That's where University of Oklahoma is. And I lived there for 10 years before I moved here.
What's the parrot population out there?
Yeah, what do you say? 0 or
like 1 per person, I think. Safe guess.
Has anyone in this circle had a not parrot, like a bird for a pet?
I have an actual problem with having a bird for a pet. So sorry if you guys do.
I also have a problem with birds for pets.
My mom's Mexican, so we had birds when we were kids.
Yeah.
But like,
is that a prerequisite?
Dude, in the neighborhood I grew up in, it was like all of my Mexican friends all had birds. But like, that was when we were like real young. But since then, no, I would not. They're dirty. Like they
poop and pee out of the same hole. It's called a
cloaca. They get flustered easily, and then they're just like flapping, and then their feathers get everywhere.
And you got to do shit to make sure that it stays your bird. You know, like you got to clip its wings and shit.
Yeah, that's just sad. But like, what did you do with it when you had it? You just looked at it and were like, oh, there's a bird.
Yeah. Just looked at it, and then like, I don't know, you touch the cage and then it freaks out and you put it in the cage and it bites you and then you guys hate each other and that's your relationship.
Yeah, I guess I just don't get it. Like
the bird's like one person.
And they're a lot of work, right?
Yeah. I'm not defending it.
Why not cat, dog?
Yeah, I'm against actually all caged pets, regardless of the issue of like animal justice. I just think it's bullshit in the same vein you're talking, Leah. Like it's just bullshit to be like, we can't hang out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I understand people sometimes will do the rabbit thing where it's like, or this parrot thing where it's like, yeah, it's free roaming, but it's like, but it poops. Like rabbits will just shit across your living room floor. And it's a lot more manageable, I would guess, than, bird poop, but still like, no, dude, not the same.
I think that this bird, like you're in there and you're like picking up its poop with like a little duster or whatever. And it's just like, it's like, hey, let me out. You're like, what? Let me out.
Well, it could say anything. It is a parrot. So yeah.
It's like, hey man, be cool. Let me out.
But the person would have had to train them to say something. So they'd be like,
oh man, yeah. It would be like, has anyone seen Ex Machina?
Yes.
It would be like a parrot version of Ex Machina where there's like a parrot that's been trained to like imitate human life and be like, I want to get out. And then in the end, the parrot's the one who's controlling the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
And they just want $15 to hang out with that parrot. That's
$15 to get into an AI Ex Machina situation.
Hey, that's what they're trying to get minimum wage to be. That's a good wage.
It is a decent wage, but I will say, as it's already been pointed out, if it takes an hour, it's like, okay, well, this is not worth it. But if it takes 3 hours,
that's upsetting. There's no good amount of time.
No good number of parrots.
You're just breathing in parrot air.
Yes,
parrot air,
and it's like birds smell
tiny, colorful feathers.
Coughing up all those little. You're thinking of like toucans, but yeah,
I know. I was thinking Fruit Loops colors. I apologize.
This doesn't seem like a good situation.
No, this is no good.
And if you are an animal lover, there's pet stores, which. We could. They're their
they
own
shouldn't have
can of
those
worms.
either. But
yeah,
I'll just throw that out there. Those are also kind of gross. But
they're pretty gross.
Maybe just like go work on a farm. I don't know.
I don't know. If you love animals, I'm sure you can find your way. But this isn't. Again, the thing is so upsetting. Is it? This is not even again. If it's a meaty gig, you don't want it, right? And so then in that case, you just like, well, yeah, I just. Come over to Dwayne's twice a month and wipe up shit, and it's mostly real dry.
Yeah. You're scraping. You're not wiping. You're scraping.
And I think this person's going to want to hang, honestly.
Yeah. I was just thinking the same thing.
For sure. They're going to watch you. I think, you know what I think? I think it's an older man that's overweight and has a cane and is going to watch you the whole time and chat with you as you're doing it.
Dwayne with the cane.
Yeah. Dwayne.
Yeah. I think this is an easy no. A lot of questions still.
Yeah, I'll pass on.
Yeah. I'm gonna just the minimal text here. Like they're talking about this like it's like, hey, can you mow my lawn? Like something like, oh yeah, we all have the parrot room in our house. And this person
parrot room.
and old Mabel or whatever can't do it anymore.
I think this person is brilliant though. They're like, less is more, you know.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no,
brilliant.
this is like a
Whoever wrote
haiku.
this, I'm into it. Whoever wrote this.
I mean, so maybe Dwayne is a creative writing major.
Yeah, I think maybe.
So Dwayne could be
interesting. Marketing majors.
Marketing too, yeah. I would say the other thing that is, again, Nick and I have taken a couple of stances, namely one on Papa Murphy's that has really lit up the boards, so to speak. I'm not a huge fan of bird people. I'm not. I have at least one friend that I'm like, hey, this guy's a cool bird. This guy's a cool guy who happens to be a bird guy. But the rest of my data set of people that are bird people.
Yeah, I think bird people can be really weird because they also always seem to have an intimate relationship with the bird.
Where they're like putting food in their mouth and the bird
there's a
eating it out of their mouth, like they're the mom bird.
And that thing has really talons. Weird. Like, why are you doing that for a thing that has talons?
Yeah, big hook beak, whatever. That might still be the toucan I'm thinking of.
Personality. I don't know. I constantly got called a toucan when I did roast battle, so you're really bringing up some stuff.
Right.
How you're a bird person and you meet another person? How long before you tell them you're a bird person? Like.
I think they have to be a bird person.
You're always leading with it. If you're a bird person and you can describe yourself as such, you're always leading with that.
Yeah, it's
because
first thing.
What other reason?
It is weird. Like, okay, but you think about like probably the most famous bird person I can think of is Mike Tyson, right? Like he
likes birds.
He's a pigeon guy. He's keep pigeons his whole life.
Fucking weird.
Really?
And it's weird, but isn't like it's happening to you guys right now. Isn't that weird to find that out after you find out all the other Mike Tyson stuff?
Yes.
It's like, and now also, he's a bird guy.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna throw that out there and forget where I heard it. I have no idea.
Yeah, that really turns the Mike Tyson up to. He was already at 11. Turns him up to like 12. Well, I'm gonna say fuck this place for sure.
Yeah, same. I don't want any part
of this place.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of introducing yourself to others, post number 2, also very short on the text. The title for number 2 is "Get Paid to Swipe on Tinder," and then just 2 lines of text here, no pictures, and it says, "Need someone who can swipe on Tinder for approximately 4 hours per day, based on guidelines I provide." And then the pay is $100 per week, negotiable. And that's the post.
Oh my God. Okay.
4 hours.
Here. Well, in the town that it's in is Pryor, Oklahoma. This is a small town. This is a very small town.
Yeah,
so I'm like
a very important point. Like, what's the talent pool that we're working?
Exactly. So how could 4 hours per day? How many people you get through all of Oklahoma in a couple days? I feel like how many people could possibly be there?
Yeah, for people who are not watching us on YouTube, which by the way, if you want to see us on YouTube, you just search FCK. This place. We're zooming out on the map, and we are. I would guess this is at least an hour outside of Tulsa.
Yeah, it's a small town. I played softball there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Blackwell's a small town too. That's how I know. We played them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it seems to me that doing up Tinder for 4 hours a day in any even in a major market.
Yeah. What do you guys think is going on? I mean, you think this person is like doing it themselves and they're like, I just can't anymore?
I think this person has gone to the point where they no longer have fingerprints. And
it's like Men in Black. They've just burned them out.
Nobody out there.
It's
Pryor, Oklahoma.
And
4 hours.
That is so, and you think 7 days a week? What's the work week? What's the work week on this?
Exactly.
That's a good point. It says 4 hours per day, but it does not say how many days per week.
It doesn't. No, and it's 100 a week, so it's like 4 hours.
If it's $100 for 4 hours only per 4 hour session, that's not bad. But I don't suspect that that's the case.
Yeah, and also, do you have to go to this guy to use his phone?
Exactly.
And if you are,
and you're assuming it's a guy.
Yeah, of course. Of fucking course.
It's a guy. It's a dude.
I am 100% positive.
It's just a guy trying to figure out who to kill. And he's like, there's so many.
Yeah.
But getting all your fingerprints on his shit.
Because it's like, does he give you access to his account so you can do it from your house?
I would hope so. I mean, we got to work remote
otherwise
here.
He has to watch you do it.
Yeah, spending 4 hours a day sitting next to this. What's he doing? You're sitting.
Well, he's providing the guidelines.
Oh,
I do know.
He's just sitting there next to you, like, no.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be a major micromanaged situation. I mean, I've not been on the apps to be 100% fair. I've not done the Tinder thing. But I do know people that are like, yeah, my like, who have gone through phases of like, my philosophy is I no longer even care. I just say yes to everybody and the randoms that come back to me. And I'm like, bro, that's probably the worst plan I've ever heard of. I'm pretty sure that man is still lonely,
Yeah, it's like, dude, I just drink water from the pond. I'm thirsty. Who cares? I'm not thirsty anymore when I drink it.
Yeah. Drinking straight algae. Yeah, to me it seems like bad, So yeah, that's worst case. Like that's one bad scenario is that he's just like say yes to everybody. I'm just tired of swiping, Or worse, yeah, like there are guidelines, and he lets you do it on your own, which is also like you have to think while it's happening. Like 4 hours of just that.
I'd love to get my hands on these guidelines.
Oh, yeah,
I wouldn't mind a list.
Like a bulleted list underneath there. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're like referencing, you're like 5, 3, 5. No, sorry, too short. Or just like you're like going to it. Like it's a recipe to make a smoothie at your job. What do I put in here?
Exactly.
Oh well, only half a banana.
And you know it so well after a while. Like,
does he like green eyes?
in your sleep. You forget what you like yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. You end up just marrying one of these people.
I like girls named Mandy.
Girls named Andy. Yeah, like I think if this person's paying per week, I mean, they're gonna max you out, right? Like that's capitalism, Like,
are they thinking like, yeah, exactly 7? That's too much. If
I mean, I would say
5 days,
5 days a week, even
so
5
20
days a
hours, 20 hours a week for $100. No thanks.
Ain't shit.
Yeah, no,
It's nothing.
Especially again, not if I have to drive and hang out with you.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? No,
oh my, he definitely should have put that in the ad.
Yeah. We do need to know, especially in the age of COVID, is this remote capable or not?
Right.
Yeah, this person, I mean, it's possible they're trying to do something else. What if they got like they're trying to build their own app or something?
Yeah, like what?
Enough, I don't know, swipes to do it,
But they live in Pryor, Oklahoma, and they're just like, listen, I can't do this myself. I need another, like more information. If that's the case, if you're like doing some research on something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
a little more info.
If you're trying to cure cancer, we need to know right now.
Right, would be less creepy.
Yeah,
just a tiny bit more info.
I do wonder how this came about for this person.
Yeah, me too. I have
like,
so many questions.
They've been swiping a long time, and they've had some dates. They've had some misses. They got their heart broken once. They got into a long-term thing. They bought a couch together. She took the couch because really she put the down payment on it anyway, and they hadn't finished paying it off by the time they broke up. But like, where was it the light bulb of just like, you know what?
Like where he was like,
get somebody else to do this.
He was like, I need to launch a full-on assault on the dating scene on Pryor, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean,
the takeover of the dating scene in Pryor.
It just reeks of killer somehow, but I don't know.
Yeah. This is definitely serial killer stamina for looking for a woman. I will say that.
Or maybe just he's so busy. He's such a busy businessman.
Yeah, that also there's
and he's gonna fall in love with the person that swipes on Tinder for him.
Right.
Oh, rom-com style.
That's how the true love. If this was a movie, that's what would happen. Is
that is what would happen.
He would hire somebody, and then that person would be swiping, and they'd be like, I think, like, you're the person who gives me everything I need.
Yeah. I like the way you move your thumb.
You're the one. So I'm gonna say fuck this place.
Yeah.
Why?
For sure.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be part of this.
I mean, no.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Okay, Leah, what's the first job you ever had?
I was a cashier at United Grocery Store in Blackwell, Oklahoma.
Oh, nice.
Is that I assume it's a local chain, or is it?
I think it's an Oklahoma chain.
Got it.
I'd never seen it till I moved there, and I remember very little about the job. I think I was 16 when I got it, and all I remember is checking out and knowing. I still remember a lot of the vegetable and fruit codes.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Like bananas 4011, and I'm like, wow, great. I'm glad that I have room in my brain for that.
Yeah, it doesn't work at any other grocery store. It's not like those are universal codes.
They are though. Yeah,
oh, they are.
Is what I'm telling you. Yeah.
Oh shit! So when Target
literally
Target
told a
self
woman
checkout,
once,
you're fucking killing it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you told someone?
I told a woman at a grocery store that bananas were and she was so mad at me. And I was like, I get it. I don't know what made me say that to you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like I wish I could go back in time.
It's weird that you retain that, because then maybe it's like you're on your deathbed and you just start like spouting those off as your brain is like shutting down.
I
and
don't
everyone's
know.
like, what is she trying to tell
That
us?
is the kind of shit that
What
people
does 2123 mean?
She wants avocados. That is some Alzheimer's shit. You know, like you've seen those videos of like someone who has Alzheimer's that used to be like play piano or whatever, and they just like literally, and they just like no. And then for you, that's gonna be
Squash
No,
romaine.
I refuse to accept that that's going to be me, guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
No, I will not.
You
take
just
that.
immediately go to your death. I'm sorry.
You're like, anyway,
I'm sorry.
you're going to be thinking this. No, I will not. But I'm also terrible with numbers. So I think maybe that's why I'm so proud that I can remember them, because
I'm also real bad with numbers.
Yeah. I have a real problem with numbers.
Same. Like someone tells you a number, it's like, you shouldn't have told me that number.
Yeah, you got to write it down and I have to copy paste it into something. Yeah. If you give me your address and I have to manually put it in, I will put it wrong. There's absolutely no way I will do it correctly.
It just immediately your mind goes to like the snowstorm in The Shining. Like you just can't. It's all just this swirl, and you're like, "What's this?" Like white noise invades. When
I don't know what
happens.
I don't know what happens with that and money. Figuring out a bill at a restaurant is like, I'm like, I quit. Yeah. You guys have to do it for me.
I immediately brown out. I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of like coming in and out of it. Right.
Yeah, that's that's one of my favorite things that has not happened since COVID began, is figuring out a bill with other people in a fucking restaurant.
God, it's so weird. I'm like, here, I don't know, more than I owe, but
I don't care. Have my pants. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I called Chase the other day, and he was walking to get a pizza by himself. It was the happiest he'd ever sounded on the phone. It was a pizza that he said was going to give him stomach pains, and he was still just like
crispy crust.
Like, yeah,
in that water.
This is going to be great.
Well, it's not stomach pains; it's just farts. The stomach's fine.
Okay. Oh, just farty,
farts. Real farty.
Sometimes you got to eat that stuff, though. I mean, it's just
you got to shake it up, mix it up with your body. Let it know, hey, I can wreck you at any time, bud. Just remember.
So you were 16 when you got this job at this grocery store.
Yes.
How did you get the job? Did you know someone there? Did you just?
Oh my God! I gotta say it was like the easiest, most ridiculous. I mean, they hired teenagers all the time. You know, they were just kind of known for that. And then
they're known for that.
They love teens.
Like my friend, several of my friends worked there, and I just went in, filled out an application. He was like, "Yeah, you're hired." I barely remember any of the process.
Of course.
And my mom was just like, "Look, if you want to drive your car around, you're gonna have to put gas in it." And I was like, "Ugh," you know. So I had to get this job, and gas was 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah, 99 cents, baby.
And I was like, yeah, I better get that bread for this 99 cent a gallon gas to drive around all night. That's all we did in Blackwell, Oklahoma.
Yeah, you just drove places.
Yeah, we would drive literally up Main Street and back to it's a tiny town.
Yep.
And just drive up and down all night. See who else is out driving.
Get that nod going.
Yeah, exactly. So the $100 a week or whatever I made was
more than enough.
Yeah. More than enough, yes.
For that freedom of that night drive.
Oh yeah. I mean, that is a thing. Like That's for sure a thing in small town worlds where it's just like, you got a car now. So it's like, it's the only room you have that's private, right? Like,
Yes.
sure, you can
Mhm.
say your room at your house is private, but that's not true. You can't play music as loud as you want, right? Like,
Mhm.
Right.
there's literally no one supervising you in a car. So once you get inside that fucking car, man.
Ugh, I
Yeah,
miss
it's on.
that feeling. I used to drive when I was in college. I used to just drive around. I mean, I guess environment be damned,
Mhm.
for hours and smoke cigarettes in my car and listen to music, and that's all. It would do it for hours.
It's very Americana.
Yeah, it was nice.
But it's also, you did it in a place where you could drive for hours, and like,
Yeah, that's the thing. It
it's
was
not
in
a big
Oklahoma.
deal.
Yeah, and I'd be out in the
Mhm.
country and it'd be like out.
Yeah.
You're
It's
not like
the
in
4
the way.
hours that we would drive just trying to get to the West Side Theater.
Right. Yeah. Not like bumper to bumper traffic. Like,
Yeah,
this is really relaxing. No,
I'm
that wasn't-
screaming at all these strangers.
Yeah, constantly.
Mhm.
So you have friends that work there. Were they like your friends, or they're just like people you knew? I mean, like,
Yeah, no, one of my best friends worked there when I started there. But it wasn't like they were like, come work with me. I was just like, where do people work? And it was such a small town that they had like people worked at the Sonic, which is I don't know if you guys have heard of a Sonic.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
There's Sonics in California, aren't there?
There's one here in
There's, like,
Stockton. where I'm
one.
at. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from North Carolina, so yeah, I've been around. A Sonic
Okay.
or
Yeah,
two.
I miss Sonic. I wish they had more here. I wish they had one in LA.
Mhm.
I would go frequently. But like you'd either work at the Sonic or you'd work at the United. Like there was like 5 places where everybody worked,
Yeah.
And that was one of them.
What was the vibe in this grocery store like? I mean, were people like nice, mean?
Yeah, I don't remember it that much. I remember I remember having to bag a lot. So I think, and then like that was like in the age where you walked them out to their car with the groceries.
Wow.
So I did that a few times and I really enjoyed that because I'd be like anything to get outside,
Absolutely.
But everybody
these
was
weird
pretty
khakis.
nice. Yeah. I remember though, there was, have you ever heard of WIC whenever you're on the welfare program to get the items on the thing? And I remember
EBT or whatever.
Shout outs.
Yeah, shout out.
100%.
And I remember they had like a card that said the exact items they had to get. And if they got like a different brand of milk, then it said, I know. And it was like, and then I would have to tell them, you have to get a different kind of milk. And I remember feeling like so crushingly bad that I had to say that to these people and them just like just thinking of how it made them feel. And
they're in line. They're ready to get the fuck out of there.
I felt so terrible. I felt
and they're
like
weird about it already. And you got to be like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It says you have to get government cheese.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get
this isn't government cheese. I'm sorry.
Brand of this is it's so awful what we do to people. It really, really
100%. It's terrible. I mean, and this is what did they have a call? Because I used EBT like 2009 to 2013, and we had a card, because like by then the digital age had caught up, and it was just like as long as it wasn't a certain classification of item, you could buy it. Like you couldn't buy prepared food or whatever. But like in this case, they had like, how did the transaction happen?
It was like they would have this like printed out list of items, and it was awful. It was like milk and cheese and cereal, and depending on what they're filming. And it was like a printed out list of things that they could get, and only specific brands would work for it.
How did the balance work of their? You mean like they had a sheet, and it was just like as long as you had a check mark. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like $100. It was just like I can get one milk, I can get one cheese.
Yes, yeah.
Fuck.
And the sheet was like their form of payment, and it would be like 2 milks. It'd be like 2 whole,
Yeah.
But it was like how they paid for it was with the sheet. It was just like,
tough.
God. I remember like I didn't realize, we didn't have a ton of money growing up at all, but I didn't realize how terrible that was for some.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got like free lunches, and like I grew up getting free lunch, but it wasn't like that.
But like the triple indignity of someone just being like, this isn't
and
the
having
right
to go
of...
back and get a different. I'm like, give her the fucking milk. Give me a drink.
And I assume you would get in trouble if you gave the wrong thing. Like there's all this.
Well, I mean, I was just like, I just have to do what people tell. I was such a like obnoxious little, asshole about. I got to do it because this guy told me at the time.
Right. I mean that in your defense, that guy did tell you.
Yeah, the guy told me, dude.
You're like, I'm sorry, this milk isn't almost expired enough. All right, you gotta take it back.
This is some name brand milk. It's 10 cents more than the other milk.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's why. Because there was no balance sheet. It wasn't an X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
It was just this is the milk that we, the government, are willing to pay for.
Exactly.
God damn.
The shittiest milk. Make sure it's the shittiest milk.
yeah. It's just the name
from
is
the
shitty
dumbest, stupidest, weakest cow.
Right?
Dumbest,
Such a
stupidest,
bummer, though.
lamest cow you can find. That's the milk you get.
The joke was on them about the cereal though, because it was that Malta meal bags, and that shit is delicious.
Love that fucking Malta meal, dude.
Yeah, Malta meal was like, fuck it, more sugar. I don't give a
That very berry. Have you ever had the very berry? Oh my god, I want some right
Came in
now.
those gigantic bags.
Oh my god, the Lucky Charms version. Is it Marshmallow Mateys? Is that what it is?
Dude, my favorite thing was the Frosted Flakes was also just called Frosted Flakes. Like it was like,
Like,
you can't copyright that.
Yeah, they're like, this is literally all it is. It's just flakes that are frosted. What the fuck do you want me to call it?
Do you think they had their day in court about that?
Yeah, I bet you they did. Yeah, General Mills came right after it.
Love the Malto meal people to show up to court. I would just love to see.
They're all wearing
those guys.
Jinko jeans.
Yeah. That puka shell necklace this guy's wearing.
Just like, Your Honor, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Case closed. Malta Mill wins.
Oh, Your Honor, this is bullshit.
Yeah, Malta Mill is just the real party people of the cereal industry. Everyone else is a real suit about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone's all pissed when they show up anywhere. At the big cereal meeting, like at the top of like the summit of some mountain once a year that all the cereal people have to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these ones will use in bags.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, you guys got bags inside of a box. What's that about?
Right.
And it really is. It is a genuine question that, like, why? Like, why is it that it's always in that box? Why is classic cereal in box only? You're not protecting the cereal. I've seen what happens in the Malto meal. It's not like, it's not all shred. You know what I mean? It's not like the Fruit Loops version of Malto meal is just pure powder. Like, it survives.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because people don't fucking punt
also
it.
it's like full of preservatives.
Well, yeah.
It comes with a straw you snort it through.
But I'm just saying, like, Cheerios is also in a bag. Like, and that box is not keeping things.
They're ashamed of the bag.
Yeah, the box is not keeping it fresher.
No, that's true.
Cereal is just across the board a land of illusion, though. It's not like
it's not good for you.
I used to think it was so good for you.
Yeah,
I remember realizing
which cereal? The Olympic Cheerios? I used to think Olympic Cheerios were good for me too. That they were gonna fucking change me.
Yeah, right.
It was hard work, dedication, and this cereal. Olympic cereal that was like purple Cheerios. I felt like it was just like Olympic colors.
They were just the color of it.
No, cereal's a massive scam. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's one of
that's
the
all
best
I ate
tasting
in
scams.
college.
Yeah. One of the best tasting scams of all time. And cereal, I know we're getting back to the job in a second here, but cereal sales have skyrocketed during COVID, apparently. Like, the supply chain is a problem. Like, apparently for a while they were out of grape nuts, aka the worst cereal in the goddamn world.
Whoa. Yeah. I didn't even know that was
eating grape nuts. Are you guys eating grape nuts?
I've never even heard of that till he said that just now.
You never heard of grape nuts?
You never heard
I've never heard of it.
Think about if someone took Wheaties and they were just like they crunched it up in their fingers and then they threw it down into a bowl and they were like
real hard like that?
Yeah, like
eat my Wheaties spit.
Yeah.
Whoa, that sounds gross.
And it's but
like
the box of it's so dense. Like, the box of grape nuts is smaller than all the other boxes, but when you pick it up, it's like picking up gold bars. Like, it's so heavy.
I'm gonna have to look up some grape nut cereal.
Yeah, well, that apparently at a certain point they were out.
Yeah. My bad.
They're like, we only made so much in 1985. And
we just figured that nobody would buy it.
It's not that year anymore, so we stopped making it.
I've heard the same theory about Necco hearts, like those those Valentine's hearts. Like, they just stopped making in 85 and they're just running them.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you were cashier / bag person, really?
Yeah. Well, that's what you're doing, double duty there. You know?
Well, I know that some places are like you have to graduate from bagging to cashier. Like they're like, no, you're a bagger, dude, until it's your time, right?
No, yeah, they didn't do it. They didn't have any discrepancies there.
Yeah,
and if you were done, like, if you weren't busy, then you had to go bag for someone else, or
right,
run the cashier,
right.
Vice versa.
A shared thing. Well, how long were you working there?
Oh, like a year. Not even a year. I want to say it was like 9 months.
It's a good chunk of change for a 16-year-old, though.
Like a pregnancy.
It's a formative amount of time.
My favorite thing though was like on break, you could get any snack you wanted because you're in a fucking grocery store.
That's true.
That was the best part. I'd be like, what am I gonna get today?
Yeah.
Definitely a cinnamon bun.
Did you get like a employee discount, or was it just like
I think so. I don't even remember it, but yeah. I did.
Like the idea you just like yoinking like raw cinnamon rolls.
Like this job sucks only in the way that all jobs kind of suck. Like it was fine, you're saying.
Right. I don't even think I wouldn't even say it sucked, to be honest. It was like exactly the right first job to have.
That's cool.
In the time for what I needed it for. I think I ended up quitting because I needed to go to a softball tournament and they wouldn't let me on. So I was like, You know what I mean? It was like,
yeah, that's like the eternal. I always wonder that about businesses when they're like, no, you can't have this time off, and you're like, no, you don't get it. I'm just not gonna I can not be here because you let me go for a day, or I cannot be here because I don't work here anymore. But I'm not gonna be here that day.
You're like, I'm 16. Like, really? You expect me to have some sort of like attachment to you, or like
loyalty?
Right? No.
So Leah, that was your first job. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
Oh my God, for sure, 100%. For 1 week, I was a book buyer.
At like a college?
For Scholastic?
No. So there's these people that run these. I didn't know much about it before I got into it. So there's these people that run these like university bookstores that are not the ones sanctioned by the university, right? But they go out. What they do is they go out to small community colleges, is what I was doing, because I was in Oklahoma. Go to different campuses. They walk into offices of like professors. They just like walk around the campuses, go in, talk to professors, see if anybody wants to sell them any of their books on their shelf, right? And so they'll go in and then like scan to see if it's worth something. They have like a whole thing that tells them how much the book is worth, like a scanner that tells them, and then they'll buy it back, right? Cool. So I went out with the guy that does this, and he's like, basically you get a percentage if you get enough books. And I knew a woman at the college, and she was like, yeah, I guess, like, look at these books. And she got a bunch of books from the publisher because she was a professor. Anyway, that day I ended up making $1,100 just going with that guy. Right. So I was like, I'm in. So I did it by myself for a week after that. I didn't know, and this might be stupid, that it's like not like it's kind of shady. So did you guys know that right away when I was describing?
I still think this job might be cool. I want to hear the end of the story.
When you said you just walked straight into professors' rooms and you're just like, that sounds to me like just like a weird ass sales job. I mean, I didn't, shady wasn't the vibe, was just sort of like, oh, this sounds uncomfortable after a while.
Yeah. I do suppose walking in and pulling out a gun is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And saying, I'm taking your books.
No, I mean, you would just like approach professors a lot. And that's what I was like, that's kind of uncomfortable, but I didn't really think about it. But it's shady because the publishers send professors free piloted books that they're having, like, so they're getting them for free. And the ones that are actually worth money that they're selling back is like they're making a profit off of books that they got for free, which sure, that sounds, I guess that's shady, but also who's getting hurt here? Big giant publishers that are just reaming students.
Absolutely. Speaking of world-class scams,
right?
Like
exactly. So I didn't feel bad about it, except for people treated you like shit, like you were doing shit that was illegal. And I almost got the campus security arresting me or whatever. And that was like the last time I ever did it. It was a woman that she was like, sit there. And she was like, you better not. Cause I just like walked in and I was like, hey, I was wondering if anyone has any books in. And she's like, sit down right now. I'm going to call campus police on you. And I was like, hey, why don't you just like let me go? Because I'm going to leave. I don't want to be here. And she was like, no, we have to put a stop to this. And just kind of sat.
Right.
Wait, where
until
was
I was
she?
like, you know what? I'm just going to go.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here.
You know what? I'm going to go.
Wait, where was she? You were walking into
That
the
was
school.
in Arkansas because I was doing a show. I was doing a week in Little Rock at the time. And I was like, oh, perfect. Well, I'm there. I'll drive around and stop at these colleges and do this. And
Is it like you can just pick up and just decide like, oh, I'll check this out, and
yeah,
you don't have to schedule it? Oh man.
No, you could have done it anywhere. And I would go, and I went to a few, but also I'm terrible at like even giving out flyers for comedy shows. I do not like to approach people. Nobody does, but like I'm really bad at it. And like it's exceptionally at the time I was like so nervous about it. I couldn't I was just like, they're gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me.
Right.
So it was a lot of that.
So just to clarify, the actual is this illegal or is this just sort of
just
goofy?
gnarly?
So it's illegal in some states,
just a bit of a goof,
from what I understand.
Oh, okay.
And Arkansas is one of them.
Okay.
Based on what that lady told me.
That lady in Little Rock said.
Yeah. Lawanda Harvey.
Not a fan.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Come on.
He was a total asshole. I was like, dude, I don't care. Okay, bye. And she was like,
and it's weird that she knew that she was like, no, this is highly illegal in Arkansas.
I know. And I was like, you have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know what I'm doing?
Yeah. Like, I would guess some people trying to buy books here.
She had like an 18-year-old in the office and she was like doing something for her. And then I got up to leave and she's like, Lawanda told you to sit there. And I was like, bitch, come on. I was like 25 at the time.
I'm not going to sit there.
Yeah. I was like,
why would I sit there? I'm in trouble.
Did Lawanda say? Okay.
And so just to clarify, the bad thing here is the press is going to get the books for free, and this company which is buying them back is I guess fucking over the agreement that the publisher has with the professor that the book is free and like a sample for them basically, or
right
exactly. For their use.
Yeah, so then it would end up
that?
at a used bookstore, and so the students could get it for less,
right?
Right?
Yeah, which is again a massive who gives a fuck.
So who gives a fuck about who gets hurt there?
Yeah,
fuck you anyway, you assholes. Yeah, exactly. But I guess it's shady for the professors. Like they were always weird about it if they did it. So like maybe it was
right shady for them to collect the cash.
Yeah, some sort of ethical problem.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, they're like, I shouldn't be making money off this free. Because I'm a professor, and in all likelihood, I'm a community college. Different, but like in all likelihood, I'm making enough money, right? Like I'm making some money here, Yeah. And this is a bit of a compromise of my purpose.
But I would go to OU too, like this, University of Oklahoma. So it was bigger. It wasn't only community colleges. There was just more of them. And I remember a couple people were like, come on in. And like, we're ready for it. You know what I mean? Like that was
it's time for the scam again.
Time for some cash. You know what I mean? Like it was great.
It's like a little bit like almost like drug dealing. Like there's like some guys that are just like open about it, and other guys just like, hey, I'm going to hand you the statistics book in a handshake and just be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are you cool?
Yeah.
So you made a lot of money on that first day. The other days?
With the guy, the other days, I think I made total the rest of the time. I did it 1 week. I'm not even exaggerating. And I think it was like $200. Maybe.
Yeah. The rest of the days.
So this guy was just good, or he had his regulars?
He was good, but also I was the one that was the reason he got all the
right,
because
you were the referral.
The woman knew me, which I still feel bad, and she felt bad because she was like trying to do me a favor. You know what I mean?
She's like, this fucking kid or whatever.
She knew me, and she was trying to be nice, but also getting money, and then like kind of knew it was like, oh god, this is bad. Didn't know how to get out of it.
It doesn't know how to like pull you aside and be like, this is a bad situation for you and I'm like, and me.
And I was such an idiot. I feel bad about it to this day. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. But then again, like, there's a million people who have had that job and do it, and then don't forget about other people that do real bad things.
Exactly.
For actual jobs,
Right.
Just...
Well, I didn't feel bad that I was doing that. I felt bad that I put her in a weird situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So, like, how did you get into this situation? You know, where you got into the job, or you thought that this job was a good idea? Like, what? How did that all
it was
coalesce?
all about money, and I had so I was a student for so long. I kept going back to grad school because I didn't know what else to do besides comedy and be a student. I was a really good student. So I was like, oh, I'm good at this. Let me just get degrees. And so then when I came out of grad school that last time, I was like, all right, I got to do something. And I was planning to move to LA. So it was in that year between where I didn't, and I was just like doing a bunch of random jobs. I was like a real estate, person's assistant, and then I was working in restaurants a lot and just trying to figure out anything to do to survive that year until I could get to LA.
Just to get you through,
yeah. So that seemed like a good
How'd
thing.
you run into it? Was it a Craigslist thing, or
no? My friend did it. Another comic that I knew did it, and so
a thesis.
Like, try this.
A thesis that I've said more than once on this podcast, and I don't think it's gonna be the last time. Comics are either the source of a really amazing weird situation, or just dog shit.
Mostly just dog shit
that they tolerate for one reason or another.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then there's like, oh yeah, there's this crazy sweet thing, you know, like a very wealthy real estate advisor who needs an additional assistant, and they pay way too much for what it is. But most of the time it's just grade A baloney.
Yes. For sure. And well, he was trying to help me, and he did it.
Of course.
So he was just like, you know, and that was the conditions that he was used to. But I need people to like me.
Yeah. The problem is, most comics are bad people. Not like bad people, you know what I mean? But they're sort of broken in a way.
Well, it's
the
also
job opportunities that really work for them does not always work for other people.
Right.
Well, I think that also too, if you're desperate for a job and you're in that spot, you only think about it in terms of like, oh, my friend Mike said he would hook me up with a good job, not realizing you're taking advice about employment from someone that's like at an open mic in an alley.
Yeah, right.
Like you lose the context of it, you know. It's like, no, well, I shouldn't even be talking to any of these awful human beings.
I didn't know. I just got my second master's degree at the time, which is even funnier. Like I was like, well, anybody help me get a job? You know, like
what was the master's in?
Oh, it was in writing. It's all a terrible idea. My whole history is just
I'm familiar.
But it's just like I'm like looking at the bottom level of any job.
Absolutely.
You were saying like writing. You're like, I have a master's in radio repair. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, now I've used it here I'm like, oh, I actually have a skill set. Maybe I should use that.
Right.
You know? But at the time I was just like, whatever job, like working in a warehouse. I was doing a bunch of crazy shit.
Right. Right. I mean, and to be fair, a master's in writing is probably going to be a little less useful in random parts of Oklahoma than in.
For sure. But I never even really tried. Yeah. But
Damn. So a week goes by and you're just like, how do you check out? You know,
I stopped doing it and I finished my week at comedy, you know, and I had a great time.
Oh, in Little Rock, right?
Yeah, in Little Rock. And then I went back.
Had some good sets.
I just went to the guy and I was like, I can't do this. And he was like, all right.
And you give me a little scanner gun or whatever?
Yeah, I was like, here you go. I can't.
He was like, your gun and your badge on my desk.
He was like, you actually owe me money.
Man.
And I've had shitty condition jobs also, but like that one was just the one that I could not take.
It was too much of a compromise of who you are.
Yeah.
And
too much to ask for me.
And what you're supposed to be doing.
I did have like a breakdown after that. I was like, why can't I just like be comfortable enough with myself to be okay with these people being shitty to me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's an important discovery to make and accept. Right. Like, I mean, you know, there are many times where I've been in sticky situations and I've been like, oh, maybe I can do that, you know, sales thing or whatever. And it's like, no, you fucking can't, dude. That's not who you are. And the same. And I think it's because it's a soft skill. people treat it differently, but it's like, it's for the same reason that if someone was like, I need plumbing help, I'd be like, well, I'm really not that qualified for that, dude. Like, I've not really done any plumbing before.
Right.
I'm sure I can, if you need me to open the top of the toilet and find out why the water's running, for sure, no problem. Add a paper clip and you're good to go. But like,
that too, huh?
I didn't know that, but I've learned it now.
If the chain's broken, paper clip. There you go. You want to make sure the thing is sealed so the water's not running. But again, the problem is mostly self-evident. Even if you don't know in the future that a paper clip, you'll look at the chain and you'll think it's broken and be like, I bet you something happens with that chain, right? Anyway, whereas a sales thing or a sketchy, because there are people who are adept at being sketchy but being cool. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm not one of them.
Yeah, me neither. I just have to give in to that.
Relatable. Well, Leah, we always make sure before we close the podcast to ask 3 questions to make sure we covered all the bases. The first question that we normally ask, I think we pretty much covered, which is when were you done and how did you quit? I would assume we know how you quit. As far as when were you done, I assume it was sometime during the incident of
Lawanda?
Stay Here. Lawanda.
Oh, that was my
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was
it.
I walked out of that office and I was like, I'm never doing this again. And I happily drove back to the comedy.
Yeah. After the Lawanda incident.
The Lawanda Harvey incident. I wrote about it. I wrote a blog about it. I named her. I'm an asshole. I used to do that all the time. I used to name everybody in my blog that I publicly put on the internet. And I'd be surprised when they told me they read it. I'm like, oh, you saw that?
If you Google your name.
They're like, yeah, it's on the internet, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, especially someone like Lawanda who probably doesn't have a heavy digital footprint,
Yeah. Well, I don't know that she saw it. But.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying,
if she did, good, because she's
there's no way that she hasn't pissed off someone else who has seen it and then shown her. There's no way,
I hope so. I hope she's like, oh, I shouldn't have let her go.
Yeah,
bitch, I'd have left anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the direct order was stay here.
Yeah, right. Like stay in the spot and sit.
Guaranteed.
I was like, what am I in 5th grade? Get up and leave.
Let me circle back though. So she was like, stay here, and then she left to go find the real police. Is that what?
She went to go call the campus police.
And I assume there was a payphone across 7 miles away or whatever it was that she had to get to.
Use her desk. I don't know. I don't know where she went.
But she left you alone.
She left me in the office with the 18-year-old. And I was like,
the 18-year-old was like an assistant or something working there.
Yeah, well, she was like doing a sign, like making a sign, on the floor.
This is
coloring something in.
This is very.
And was also a
grade.
bitch to me.
Yeah.
Why has that person got to be an asshole?
I don't know. I also had ridiculous sunglasses, and I remember that very distinctly because they were like
on
like Elvis looking glass. No, they were on the top of my head. And then I remember walking out and putting them down, and then looking at the girl like. Like it was my movie moment.
Yeah, just like kabloom.
Yeah, like bleh, and they were so dumb and ridiculous. Yeah,
all she could do was like shake her fist and say,
Lawanda.
All she could do was like just like pin that leaf to the bulletin board harder. Just be like, that motherfucker got away. But fall is here, and it's important to fall into intramural sports, which I assume is what was on the bulletin board.
That was such a smooth segue. I thought you were saying fall.
Fall is here, by the way.
I was like, wait, it's February.
He's like just doing like our sponsor. Yeah, right? He gets into our ad.
Fall, the new app that enables you to know what season it is. It's not fall. That's wild. Okay, so question number 2 is what's one good thing you took from that bad job?
Oh man, I met some dude that was a kid. He was like 22, and I was like, I want to say maybe he was 21. Anyway, he walked around with me at one of the campuses and talked to me, and was so cool. And he just like came up to me and started talking to me, and then I realized later, oh, this kid was hitting on me. And I was like I always was very dumb about people hitting on me. Yeah. And so, but he was like so fun and like he had braces and he just seemed so much younger than me. And I was like, dude, I'm like an old weirdo. And then he got upset with me, because Well, he like called me and I'm like, what are you doing calling? You know, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I know why did I give him my number? You know,
Mm.
but in the end, I was like, he made it really funny and cool. Like he just walked up and he made my whole day better. And honestly, I think about that kid all the time.
Yeah. That guy grew up to be Sinbad.
His name was Preston.
Preston.
And I
Preston
felt
Waters.
bad, but I was like, dude, what is, you live in Arkansas. I'm 10 years older than you.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, an important lesson for like, people, coworkers can really make the whole thing better.
Yeah.
Why did that
person
person
not working with me? He was a random kid that went to that camp. I cannot explain even more how he was just a random student on a campus, and we walked by each other several times before he started talking to me. And then he was like, I keep walking by you. One of those things.
Yeah, one of those things that only happened on like a college campus.
And then I was like telling him I was doing, he's like, I'm coming with you. Yeah, exactly. And he just walked around with me.
Yeah, it's a real freshman move,
Yeah.
Just like it was like, I literally don't have anything to do. I'll walk where you're walking. No problem.
It was fun. And I mean, it reminded me of when I was a freshman in college.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing now?
I'm living on thousands and thousands of dollars in loans. And I have no concept for that.
Definitely.
And so I'm just like, I just have a free afternoon. It's like your afternoon is so far away from free.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so just a random act of kindness, I guess then.
I mean, it really made me feel better.
Did he walk with you to like an appointment and then you walked out and you're like, ugh, scratched it? Did you explain to him why you were there?
Yeah, I told him the whole, like he was there. I want to say it was like 3 hours.
Okay.
Whoa. And he's just like in the window behind you, like who, just like
no, he walked with me into the office.
Into the offices.
Yeah, so I had
Preston.
like a buddy for a day.
Okay, let me ask you real quick. Was Preston real? Or was this like from your imagination?
I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I thought it was so funny. And I had this thing though. I am one of those people, and I don't know if I still have it, but when I was younger, a lot of weirdos walked up to me.
That is a thing.
Yeah. And it was such a commonplace thing in my life that I didn't question it that much at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I understand that sounds weird.
No, well, that's not weird.
The way you like described how like your anxiety about doing stuff like that, it would be just funny if you made up a guy that was like,
right? Like, I just manifested a friend.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Leah. This is Preston, and everybody. That's why everyone was looking at you weird.
Yeah.
you were just talking about the guy that wasn't there. He's like,
just
funny.
really
He's
go
worried
back
about econ.
He talked to another girl. That's how I know. He started talking to someone he knew, and I was like, "We'll see you later." And then he chased me down to come hang out with me.
Oh man.
Wow, dude, Preston.
Dude, whether he was real or not, Preston was the man.
Yeah. Maybe so. I wish him well. He was interesting.
Yeah. What a man. What a boy.
What a boy Preston Myers was, huh?
What a takeaway. Just thinking of that guy. Where is he now?
I don't know. He said he wanted to be an inventor. So
an inventor.
He said he wanted to be an inventor.
Are you sure this isn't like a Dickensian orphan?
He was amazing. I'm trying to tell you guys. This is why he was the best part of it.
I'm wearing knickers.
Yeah, dude. I respect what you're saying. I still don't know if he was real, and I don't know.
I think he was real.
You think he was real?
Was Preston real? I think he was a freshman. I think it was his first semester, possibly second. He wants to be an inventor.
You know, he was probably like 19 now.
This whole thing does sound again very fourth grade because it's like
it was hilarious.
To be an inventor is not an occupation.
I know. We had an amazing conversation. It was fun. Well, he also, I think I told him I was a comedian, so that was part of when you tell people you're a comedian, and like,
and they just bare their hearts to you.
Yeah.
Like I have a dream too. I want to invent clocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you already have clocks.
Exactly like that. It was exactly.
Yeah, but what if clocks could be better? You know?
You ever noticed?
I wouldn't, and then he like kept at it. So then I just told him like a regular joke.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him
did you laugh?
No, he said that's not your joke, and I said, well, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, dude.
Wow.
Fuck off in your clocks. Leah, question number 3 is not related to the bad job. It is related to the pandemic that we have been experiencing for nigh upon a year almost.
Oh my God, I know.
It's sidetracked a lot of dreams, even side hustles. How are you doing with all that? Open-ended situation.
Wow. Well, I'm not doing that badly, actually. Sometimes I'm like what business do I have being this happy during a pandemic?
Sure.
I did, great timing, have a daughter right before that all happened. So
Incredible timing.
Yeah. So she was about, she was 6 months, or no, she was like 9 months whenever it started. And so now she's a year and 9 months. And so she's fun, and I have her and a dog, and my husband's a good time, so we've been having a lot of fun in here, but definitely going a little stir crazy. Reassessed my whole stand-up career, and sort of leaned into the podcasting, which I imagine you did as well.
We've been there.
But got a year's worth of a podcast. We never have not done a podcast not in a pandemic, what I mean?
So, okay.
We started ours like 4 months. Like it was not a long time, but it was just long enough to like have something and then not have it.
And not have anything. Yeah, exactly. But ours was, it was well timed, I think, and it was something that got me through, because we, every week.
It's just nice to have a little project, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It made me feel like there's something creative going on, So everywhere I could find it, if I look back, I did. I watched all the Netflix, and then it was like, don't feel that.
Run out. Yeah.
But then you run out, and then you're like, you know what? Now I can make something, because I exhausted all my wasting time options. So, you guys doing okay? Everybody doing okay?
Yeah, doing good. I'm in the same boat. I love the pandemic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, it's just, I think I've done, me and Chase have done what we can. Chase has had to work throughout all of it, but I've just been partying, man. Been fucking shit up, man. It's been good.
Nice.
It's all true. Yeah, it's okay. Well, Leah, where can people find you on the internet if you would like to be found? And I assume
I am at Leah KJ on Instagram and on Twitter. Also at WYB Pod on Twitter is our podcast, and then What's Your Beef Pod on Instagram. So.
Sweet, and we'll put links to all of that in the show notes. So if you're listening to this on an app, you just swipe up and click, and if you're watching on YouTube, it's down in the description below.
Sweet.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Leah.
Thanks for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And fuck this place.
Fuck this place.
Nicholas.
My guy.
We got a motherfucking write-in.
We got a write-in?
What do you think about that?
Dude, I am so fucking pumped for this.
It's time. It's past time.
Let's do it.
We got a write-in. It's a bit of a short write-in.
Okay.
So, we're going to be in and out. We're not going to sit here and just
stick and move.
Yeah, we're not stewing on this for another 6 hours. One of these days we'll do a marathon podcast. Why?
Yeah.
No good reason.
Just no cuts between like poop breaks. Just letting it go. Whoever's left is co-captain sitting there.
All right. So today's write-in comes from, you know what? Actually, let me look at the name. JJ. Today's writing comes from JJ. It's not.
What's up, JJ?
Thank you for writing in, JJ. JJ is from Boston, is what JJ says. So
cool.
JJ from Boston. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to all Bostonites.
Big ups to Boston's.
Big ups. Real cold there.
Real cold. Everybody's real tough.
Real tough in Boston. So thank you very much, JJ, for writing in. If you want to write in, it's just a simple number, 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627 or 470-BAD-JOBS, whichever you're feeling. So let's take a look real quick at his write-in. And it's just one line, real quick. Like I said, JT says, working while listening to the JT episode. Hilarious. New fan of the podcast. Thanks. Exclamation point. And that's the write-in.
Holy crap. That's amazing.
Just feeling good, JJ.
JJ. You're
Thank
the man,
you.
JJ.
Yeah, thank you so much, JJ, for writing in. I'm so glad you're a new fan. We got a little bit of a back catalog to wade through before you're all up to date,
Yeah.
Go back, listen to Trevor Smith talk about serving people pizza with everything on it.
Great episode.
Listen to Gabby Lamb. Gabby Lamb's episode always gets a lot of I think because some people do, like, they might listen to a new episode and they're like, let's go back to the beginning and see what the fuck this is all about.
Yeah.
Or Gabby has a lot of Instagram followers, so maybe they're just trickling in over that, but I highly doubt it. Highly doubt that. But Gabby Lamb, she worked at a smoothie place.
We should get Gabby back on.
We really should. We really
Yeah,
should
she's
get Gabby
doing.
back on. We have a couple return guests in the works.
Mm-hmm.
So stay buckled in. If you want,
Mhm.
here's another thing. If you want a return guest, let's say you really liked, obviously, the JT episode. At some point, we're gonna have JT Barr back on. We have gotten a lot of good feedback about that. Thank you. From those who have mentioned it to us or commented on stuff. Thank you very much. But yeah, if there's like a guest you really love, like, text the podcast. You don't have to spill your beans. You don't have to tell us your whole fucking life. You know.
Yeah.
You can just be like, I really loved Greg Edwards.
Yeah, just tell us who you like. Tell us what stories you liked from the pod.
Yeah, because we could maybe get him to spill the beans more, you know?
Yeah. We'll do whatever. We don't give a shit. We'll do whatever.
I mean, we'll pump the brakes a little bit on whatever.
Okay. We'll do some stuff.
We'll do some stuff, you know? I feel like that's as much as you could. Am I having a stroke? That's as much as you can ask for. But yeah, thank you so much for writing in, JJ. And working while listening to the podcast, excellent combo, as far as I'm concerned.
A little bit of defiance in there.
Yeah, a little bit of fuck this place. You don't even know what podcast I'm listening to right now.
Yeah. Also, JJ, if you so inclined, tell us what you do while you're listening. What do you on a forklift? You in an office? What are you doing?
Yeah, you don't have to you don't have to divulge details, you know. But maybe you're fucking shoveling snow in Boston. Maybe you're a data analyst. But you don't have to say the whole fucking thing.
Maybe you work on parachutes or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
parachutes. You're saving lives. Maybe you're a fireman. You really shouldn't be listening to this. Dude,
what if JJ was a fireman? Yeah.
He's like, are you shouldn't be saving lives? It's like, no, AirPods, man, we're fine.
Yeah, no, dude, I can still catch your baby. This is fine.
Hold up. They just said fuck this place medium. You can jump now. So if you want to clue us in, Jay, I want to say JT, but JJ wrote in about JT. If you want to clue us in, JJ, let us know. If not, no biggie. And if you want to write in, you know how to do it. It's the number 470-223-5627. That's it. Fuck this place.
Fuck this place.
But not fuck JJ.
Not fuck JJ. JJ's cool.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. This is super random, but I wanted to say this because I feel like I should tell you I've been following Danny Palumbo. He was a guest on the podcast a while back on Instagram, and he does a lot of writing about food, and it's like really good, and funny too, where he talks about sandwiches and stuff. Anyway, his Instagram handle is Palumbros, Palum Bros. He's got weird things to say about chicken biscuits. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this place.